After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 391. Today is Saturday, February 29th, 2020. Happy leap year. This day only comes every 4 years, so yay.
Yay.
We want to welcome all new and returning viewers. We're glad to have you with us. I am Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
And I'm Tasia.
Tasia, huh?
Who's Tasia? I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
We're glad to have you with us here. If you are returning, we're always glad to see you back. If you're new, we're glad that you found us, and we hope that you will find something that will keep you coming back. If you are in the shadows, either new or returning viewers, please feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's a little subscribe button on your right.
See, I sit here. It'll be on the left.
Wait,
it'll be on their...
It says subscribe.
It's on their left, I think. Yeah, I think it's on their left.
I think when you push it's on your right, but I'm not sure. Anyway, there's a subscribe button on there. Just push the subscribe button. I think it's red. And then there's a little bell next to it that will give you notifications when we podcast. And if you want to be able to join in the alongs and all the camaraderie and the support and giveaways and things like that, that happens at our PHN home. It is phnpodcast.freeforums.net. phnpodcast.freeforums.net. It's in the little description box below the podcast. We have tea today.
We do have tea. And I have only 3 projects, and you have more. So you go first.
I have 5, I think. Barely. Okay, in my Memento Mori mug, because it is Lent, so remember your death. It's not a morbid thing. This is something we do as Catholics to prepare for eternity.
It just keeps our focus
where it should be.
Instead of thinking about getting caught up in, I don't know, things that aren't important. It keeps us in mind that, oh, hey, this isn't the end place.
This is the journey.
Yeah, this is the journey.
Not the destination.
Yeah.
Reference.
Yes, that is a reference.
It's a reference. Does anybody know what that reference is? Only the journey is known, not the destination. Okay. In my Memento Mori mug is banana bread dessert tea, incredibly delicious, celebrate life. It has honeybush tea, cocoa nibs, cinnamon, apple pieces, calendula, banana, chestnut essences, love, gratitude, no caffeine. Okay? And
now, she has a big one of that, but I had a sample that I had received, so she just used my sample. Because I like it well enough, but it's not my favorite. I'm not a huge banana fan.
This is amazing. It tastes very strongly of banana and chocolate. And this one is actually a little weaker than the one I tasted from Talia the other day. It's because I used the sample, it's for a smaller cup. And so it's a little weaker.
Yeah, because on the packages it'll say use a teaspoon, but it's for 8 ounces. And these mugs are 16.
Oh, these are 16, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
It might be 14.
No, there are 16, you're right. No, wait a minute.
They're 14.
They're 14.
Yeah.
So we put in usually about 2 of the teaspoons of tea. But this is amazing.
And I'm not going to taste yours because I already know that it's strong banana. I had it yesterday.
But this is a weaker one.
I know, but if it's weaker, I generally don't like it weaker.
Okay. She doesn't want to taste my tea.
No, I don't. And I don't think you'll like this one. But what it's a strongly black tea.
We'll see.
So, this is Fireside Chat Black Tea. This is also Plum Deluxe. This is the one that, I think you gave this to me because it said smoky on it. Or maybe I picked it up on my own because it said smoky on it. Okay, so Fireside Chat Black Tea. Sip a smoky bonfire of goodness. Black tea, Rubio's tea, cinnamon, ginger, cocoa nibs, safflower, calendula, vanilla, walnut, chocolate essences. Love and gratitude has caffeine.
It has chocolate essences. I might like it.
But it's smoky. Because that's why you gave me
wanna taste it.
yeah, I'll let you try have some. But that's why you let me have my Edgar Allan Poe back.
Right.
Because it was smoky. And I actually really loved that.
I took a lot of her teas when she couldn't drink caffeinated.
And I missed some of my smoky teas because I really like the taste of a good smoky tea.
You still have the one I got you from Williamsburg?
I drank it all.
Oh yeah, well, this smells smoky.
I loved that tea that you got me from Williamsburg. I finished it like within the year.
Yeah, it's okay, but
Go ahead,
and this is just no.
Well, it's just like I don't prefer banana. She doesn't prefer smoky.
It's very, very, very smoky. It almost to me tastes like it's burnt.
And you see, I really like a smoky tea.
So that is the smokiest of smoky teas I've tasted, and I have had a couple.
This reminds me a little bit in the smokiness of that one that you got me from Williamsburg that I liked so much.
I need to take that out of my mouth. And again, this is not saying that that's not a good tea. Andy's teas are all good.
No, it's just it's personal preference. I remember seeing once in the Plum Deluxe members group where someone was trying to do a trade. Oh, I had this tea, but I really don't like, I think it was like Rubios or something.
Right.
Like, does anyone want to trade?
Right.
So it happens all the time. It's just a matter of personal taste.
And he's well aware of that. He has so many teas that he does to get...
Because I think that's decent. It's not like, oh, terrible, spit it out my mouth, but I just don't like bananas that much. And Mom might eventually end up getting mine of the banana bread because it's very strong banana.
And we have a lot of crossovers, but I don't like anything that's real smoky. I can do some of the Earl Greys, but not like the smoky ones too much, because like that one there is very to the point where if you bring it to drink it, it smells like a campfire. And so to me, when I tasted it, I don't know if the smell had something to do with it. It almost tastes burnt. And
Well, that's why they call it a smoky taste. And some people like it, and some people don't. I think people who maybe have a tendency to like coffee
yes,
might like the
I would
smoky
agree.
ones
Yeah,
more.
I would agree.
Because I don't like a really strong coffee, but I used to love chocolate covered coffee beans.
Right, right, and that's pretty strong.
And that's pretty strong. I mean, that's pure. Now,
Coffee.
part of it was texture, because I also really loved chocolate covered almonds.
Yes, I like that too. I like chocolate covered raisins, which is a different kind of texture.
But I really like the
one that's my favorite though for texture is the chocolate covered malt balls. You know, they're like hard nougat, or you know what they are, malted milk balls. They just kind of I like.
You
them.
see, I could almost do with a little more smokiness.
Oh,
That's really good, but it's. I think that the Edgar Allan Poe had a little bit more of a bite after the. This is really good, and I really enjoy it. Or the Picard might have had a little bit of a bite. It might have been a slightly different tang to it.
See, I like this, and this is slowly driving out that this is really, really good. The banana bread, banana bread dessert tea, which has actually, it's like having a chocolate sundae without the ice cream, kind of, sort of. Not a sundae, a banana split.
And I don't really know how to describe it when something tastes smoky. It just tastes awesome.
No, smoky's exactly it. Like I said, I brought it close to my nose and I could smell a campfire. It's very, very well done. Okay, moving on from tea, because it is a knitting and crocheting podcast. We have a new podcast that I found. Actually, I was tagged in it on one of our... Ty and I were both
Yeah, I
tagged
haven't
on
had
it.
a chance to look at it yet.
It's brand new. She's only got 4 episodes up, and right now they're short, and it's one of our own PHNers. It's called Gabby Grammy Podcast. Gabbing, as in talking, Gabbing Grabby Podcast.
Grammy, not grabby.
Yeah, Gabbing. Now you got me.
Gabbing,
Gabbing Grammy Podcast. And that's by our very own Lucky to Be a Lady. That's Donna. And she's got 4 podcasts when I last look.
She used to test for me a lot for the toys.
Yeah, she's sweet. And it's funny. She doesn't look like I thought she looked like. I don't know what I thought. I think I thought she was... had dark hair and
I thought she was blonde for some reason.
no, and she's got a southern accent.
Oh, really?
I love it. I love listening to her, that southern accent of hers.
And now I have luck to be a lady.
Yes,
tonight.
and the last one she did I think was like 14 minutes, and she gave us a nice little shout out. Thank you,
thank you.
Donna. Thank you very much. She mentioned our PHN, my Lady Fernicle PHN bag, and she's just very sweet. So if you want another
And
podcast,
you know that you've been with the podcast a while when you have one of those bags, because
Yes.
That was several years ago.
Well, no, it's not the one with the pictures.
Oh, which one?
It's the one that we did. That's the Podiversary. The one that we did with all the words.
Oh.
But she has been with us for a while.
Okay.
It's the one that Taya,
yeah.
Taya, you have the red one with all the words, and I
Yeah.
have the blue one with all the words.
Because there's two PHN
Right, but that
Lady
one.
Fernico bags, and I thought you meant the other one.
Well, the other one we never called it Lady Fernico or Franciscan Gypsy. We just said red and blue. I guess we kind of did call them that.
That's what I call them because I had a project in the other day.
Mm-hmm. But she had the newer one with all the words. So and she said that makes me happy is my tagline, and I
Oh, it
didn't
totally is.
realize
It totally is.
because that's the name of her last
You do
podcast.
it all the time.
Makes me happy.
Speaking of which, behind you.
We'll get to that with
We'll get
stash
to that.
enhancements.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Don't pull the string. Okay, so check her out if you want to see another podcast. She's very sweet, and it's nice to watch her. She's very low key, and she was podcasting from her craft room. I guess she's not been feeling well, and now she's kind of on the upswing, and now she's moved back into her craft room, and there's boxes and everything all over the place. Makes me happy because it doesn't make me feel like I'm a slob. We're both, Donna, we are not slobs. What is it they say? We are creative. We have, all our creativity has just exploded, that's all. So, yeah. Now, moving on to the charities, I want to give you an update about Brittany's dishcloths. You guys
What was the final count?
you are amazing. As far as I know, the final count at last time I spoke to her, which was I think a day or two ago, Brittany said it was the day after she had to have it scheduled. So I don't know if she was still counting them or what, but she said at that point there were 236 dishcloths that she collected.
Because her original goal was 100, but then afterwards, after the people were already knitting, they gave her a goal of 500, and she's like, "You guys gave me the goal too late. You had to, give it to me more in advance next time."
Right. But 236 dishcloths, and I know we had a big
PHN.
PHN, and not us, but
Yeah,
PHN.
because we only had like 10.
But PHN in general, I mean, I think Patty gave 13. I know several people gave double digits. Several people gave, multiple.
Yeah, Mom and I did 10 between the two of us.
Well, yes, but we had things going on, and we did our best. We're bad charity people. Anyway, so thank you very, very much.
I finished dishcloths.
I did too. I finished. I don't do blocks. I finished dishcloths. One of them was a circle. So
I had never done dishcloths before that point.
I had played around with them. But
I think you've done a couple.
I played around with them a couple, but okay. Moving on. In the vein of charities, just a brief mention here. We still have our pet charities. Brittany is always a pet charity of ours with her stuff.
It makes it sound like Brittany herself is the charity.
She is a charity. We love Brittany dearly. No, her charity things are always important to us.
Because I'm sure Brittany will be quite grateful to be your charity.
She knows what I mean. Anyway, and then there's Evans Home, and that's here in Winchester, Virginia. We're not in Winchester, but it's about 25, 30 minutes away from us.
Well, it's only like 30, 40 minutes away.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I used to drive there every day when I worked at the hospital.
Yeah, with the trucks and stuff, but we don't always drive that way. Depends on the traffic. It's probably more like 30, 35 minutes. Anyway, it's not too far from us. That's where our contact is for Evans Home, and that's Knitter's Magic. That's Gracie's mom, 62, his Laura. And we'll take the stuff over there. So we're in the process of getting more stuff for that. And then Front Royal Pregnancy Center here in Front Royal, which is just down the street from us. And we have a few things there, and I think Patty said she was sending something. So we'll get, when we can finally figure out a way to match our hours and schedule with theirs, we'll bring that out there.
Although now
it
that
should
won't
be
be as
easier.
much of time. And
Yeah.
we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah. And then I already mentioned Comforting Crafts. Oh, and the last one is, I'm sorry, Kim, I can't think of
You're a horrible podcaster.
the Amelia Project. The Amelia Project, which is NICU hats and all kinds of other things. And you can contact Kim on Ravelry or in our group. I think she might be on Instagram. I forget. But anyway, you can contact her for what else she accepts for that. For Brittany, now that we're done with the specifics of dishcloths, they need like men's items, mostly hats. They're trying toys this time. mittens of all sizes, and of course always hats, scarves, and mittens.
Well, if we
so-
have trouble getting to CCAP, I'm sure Davina would like to send her Mr. Wendell scarves.
Right, oh, that,
Because she's
yeah.
she's knit quite a... She doesn't knit, she crochets. She's crocheted quite a few of them.
And we do have CCAP out here, so that's another thing.
I just don't know what CCAP accepts.
I think it accepts pretty much everything.
We probably should contact them
Yeah.
beforehand just to make sure.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to be able to give that to people in our area because at Northwestern I knew several clients who were homeless. So
Right, okay.
that would be
I always
very-
thought CCAP was military. Why did I think it was military?
I believe CCAP's any one who requires assistance.
I mean, I
There might have been on a military base, maybe,
well,
but I'm not sure.
I think what I meant was it was by the military. You know, not for the military.
CCAP. What is CCAP?
Although there is something that gives out scarves and things like that for
I'm pretty
military.
because I'm pretty sure CCAP, Community Corrections Alternative Program.
okay. So it's prisoners.
It emphasizes reentry and transitional services.
Okay.
Okay. I thought it had more to do with homeless. Maybe I misunderstood it.
Well, I had no idea exactly what it was. I actually thought it was military stuff.
Because I know they accept donations. I think that's why I assumed they had to do with homeless.
well,
But I
mean,
would still check out and see if they. That's the only. Also, we have that Catholic Charities.
right.
That's
Loaves and
right
Fishes? Is that
by.
Loaves and Fishes?
No, Loaves and Fishes is a
That's a food bank.
a food bank. The Catholic Charities is
It's
right,
right next
by,
to it.
like near the Taco.
I know
Bell
it is.
area.
It's right there on the street on 522.
So they might accept stuff, but again, you would have to contact them
Right.
because they're really a small building. I don't know where their donations.
So, I think, Linnea, didn't you do something for military people? I'm not sure. Let me know, or you can put a message in the episode thread so that people know if it's something dealing with people who are deployed for scarves and hats and things like that. Dishcloths. They probably don't need scarves and hats right now.
Well, it depends when they're deployed. I guess if they're
Well, it depends on where they're deployed, but I know they probably need dishcloths and things like that. So, or washcloths and things like that. But anyway, Linnea, I think it was you who was doing that. If I'm mistaken, you can put a message to that effect on the podcast thread. If I'm not, could you please give us the information regarding that? Being, military brat, military spouse, we're kind of interested in that too. So, okay, moving on. All right. We have I don't know if you've been on the threads. We have a new along. It's kind of a thank you for all the support and encouragement of the people who either prayed for and or bought yarn to support Talia's medical expenses. Okay, I was only able, of course, to give one thank you gift out, but for those of you who purchased yarn or having it along, it's going to be for 2 months. Starts tomorrow, March 1st, and goes through April 30th. And what you do is you use any of my yarn, okay? Any Lady Furnico Creations yarn, at least more than half of my yarn. And so it has to have my yarn in it in order to be eligible. If you use my yarn, it has one chance at a prize. If you use the mystery yarn, you get 2 chances at a prize for the finished object. Okay, if you use the mystery yarn with my pattern or Talia's patterns, it's 3 chances at a prize. Okay, the thing that's a little different for this, that's so far so good, right? That's all the same except that it has to be my yarn. The other thing is that if you bought my mystery yarn and you've already made a project with it, you can still put that finished object into the along and get two chances at a prize. Okay,
Whoa.
because it's for the mystery yarn, and if you didn't know there was an along. I mentioned that it might happen, but you didn't know.
Right, we didn't have anything. You might have gotten excited and used your mystery yarn. You should have the
Right.
chance to. Everyone wants to look at your mystery yarn.
Yes, once your mystery yarn.
project.
So this is only going to be on the PHN home threads. So if you're not, if you bought the yarn and you want to take part in this, you do need to be a part of the group. I don't have the time right now or the wherewithal to have different, Instagram and Facebook and all. Please do it on the on the group. Okay, we'd love to see you in the group. We welcome you with open arms. But so the rules are already up. The thread is already open, and we'd love to hear what you're doing. like I said, if you've already done a mystery yarn project, put it in if it's finished, and you get the 2 chances at a prize. My yarn whips can go in like that, but not finished object if it's just my yarn that's not mystery.
Right.
Okay, so everything is pretty much the same in the fact that, you know, previous whips are allowed, chatter and pictures in the same thread, knit, loom knit, crochet, 50 yards or less. Please have 2 or more projects in the same picture. Okay, that's how, and that's all about that. And if you have any questions, you know, you can contact me on PHN, all right? Or if you have my email, you can contact me that way, but I'm probably more likely to see it if you do it on the thread because it comes through my email anyway.
Whereas usually, and I think most people have found this, that actually easiest place to contact me is Facebook or Instagram.
I would say that's good for me as well, except for one thing. During Lent, I am limiting my Facebook and Instagram and things like that.
I get notifications to my phone.
I get notifications for my Instagram on my phone. I don't get notifications for Facebook.
You don't get the messaging?
I get the messaging, yes.
Because that's what I'm talking about for Facebook.
Yes.
Like, if you just do it on my wall, I'm not going to see it for a while, possibly. But if you send me a Facebook message or contact me on Instagram,
yeah,
I will see it. It might take me a little while if I'm having a bad day or something.
Yeah. So, all right, moving on to the next one is the PHN Ready, Set, Go Cal Lao 2020, and this is going strong. It's 2/3 of the way through. We only have a month left. Our co-hosts are the lovely ladies from the Cozy Up Knits podcast, Jamie, Sarah, Chrissy, and Katie, okay? And we are very happy to have them with us. It's a lot of fun. I am a little behind on their podcast right now, but they are amazing, and I love them, and they have lots of patterns coming out and things. They're just always doing something.
Like Energizer Bunnies.
I know, oh my gosh. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. Okay. All right. This one goes from January 1st through March 31st, and there were no whips that were prior to January 1st allowed. Okay?
I wonder if other countries are familiar with the Energizer Bunny commercial, because I know there's things that are pop culture that might be in other countries that we don't necessarily references.
I don't know. I think that was pretty well all over the place. But anyway, everything is basically the same as I mentioned for the other along. The featured patterns: Franciscan Gypsy Designs FOs, Lady Vertical Creations Yarn FOs, Lady Vertical My Shawl FO. These and all Cozy Up Knits patterns are all eligible for double chances at a prize for the FO, and if it uses my yarn, it's also eligible for 3 chances of a prize: the featured yarn, the featured pattern. Okay, and it's in there. The hashtag for Instagram is hashtag PHN Ready Set Go 2020 on Instagram, and hashtag Cozy Up Knits Ready Set Go Mal. Okay, so that's for the Cozy Up Knits ladies. All right, we already showed the praises last week, so I'm not going to go through that again, in the interest of brevity, since last time was 2 hours. Sue sat all the way through that 2-hour podcast.
Saw that.
I was amazed, impressed. Okay, all right. The Charity Cal Lao 2019.
I think we're well on our way to making another 2 hour unless my energy crashes.
Well, that doesn't mean we'll be for 2 hours, though. It just means that we'll...
I'm not quite as... I think the term might be fey. I'm not quite as fey as I was last time.
Okay.
I
Anyway.
think that's the proper term.
F-E-Y.
F-E-Y.
Yeah. All right. Do not interrupt me.
It's not a term you hear a lot anymore.
Do not interrupt me.
Who interrupted who?
You did. Okay, so this one goes a year long. The Ready Set, the Charity along, okay? And so it's January 1st, December 31st.
F-A-Y.
Projects must be knit, loom knit, or crocheted. Previous whips are allowed, but must be worked on during the along. Everything else is pretty much the same. All charity projects are accepted, but baby items are eligible for 2 chances at a prize, okay, for the finished object. As always, responsible for your own multiple postings.
Huh, it doesn't mean what I thought it did.
And let's see here. NFOs and Franciscan Gypsy Designs, Lady Vertical My Shawl, and Laura Concerts patterns, and anything that uses my yarn or Lollipop Girl yarns is eligible for 2 chances at a prize. And if you match the pattern with the yarn is 3 chances at a prize for the featured yarn and featured pattern. My patterns, Talia's patterns, Laura Concert's patterns, my yarn, Lady Vertical Creations, and Laura's yarn, Lollipop Girl yarns. Okay, those are your featured items, okay? And you know how the deal works, okay?
So, Mom, if in that sentence, the way I was probably using Fae, so Fae giving an impression of vague unworldliness or mystery. So,
Okay. You doesn't need to be done right now.
I think it's catching from last week.
I'm gonna smack you one.
Neck.
I don't care about your neck. I'm gonna smack your neck, stick you down here.
Ow.
Behave
That
yourself.
like hurts sometimes.
Good.
That's mean.
Uh-huh. So is interrupting. Rude child. Anyway. Okay, this quarter's prize is a pattern from Looney Hiker, who is Pat. She very generously donated a pattern that she has. She has them on Ravelry and Lovecrafts. Okay, you should take a look at that. And a knit baby book. It's a knit baby
You're
book
not
set.
knitting babies. You're
No.
knitting things for
No,
babies.
and we don't give away babies. No, we don't. Okay, so did I do all the?
That might be considered human trafficking.
Yes,
That's
and we don't.
That's
we don't
just
do
not
that.
good.
That's not a good thing. Sorry, guys. Okay. All right. I guess we're into whips.
I guess we are.
Unless you have something to say. Now that you have an actual time to talk instead of interrupting your mom.
Just thinking about something in one of my Coloric Facebook groups where someone was asking for
Oh, that's good.
how to do a chart for Shetland Pony, and you had, of course, people were, oh, that's where I got the
A chart for Shetland.
Shetland Pony. Some people actually gave like that link that I told you about
Right.
where you can write the chart, but a lot of people, some people were like, well, why would the pony need a chart? Are they gonna knit it?
All I could think of was that comedian says when he was sitting there and his mind was going, and if I hadn't had that pony, I would have gone to talk.
Let's see, it was
What was he?
if I hadn't had that pony, I would have never. If I hadn't had the horse, if it wasn't for the horse, I would have never made it to college or
something like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're mangling it. You have to hear it. It's funny.
I don't
Okay.
remember who the comedian was.
I
It
don't
was the
either.
one who gets angry.
He's very dry.
Where he'll start shouting randomly.
Yeah.
I don't consider that dry. I consider that a little bit unhinged.
He's that too. Is he the one who does Starbucks and Starbucks?
I think it might be.
Or is that Gaffigan?
No, Gaffigan has a different delivery.
He's got, sometimes he's like Reagan, who gets that little voice.
But Gaffigan like has conversations with himself.
Yes,
where
he does.
He'll start talking about something and be like, that wasn't very nice.
Yeah. It's a little creepy. He's really funny
It's
too.
a mouse in his pocket, I guess.
I know, it's just really weird. Okay, I think I have
Or maybe it's the angel on his shoulder.
1, 2,
I don't know.
3, 4, 5. Okay, I've got 5.
Tree. I got tree.
Okay, so I have 1 set of 2 then. I wish I would stop doing that. My
Yeah, we were a
show
little
notes.
short on projects last week in comparison to the week, or this week in comparison to the week before. I think we had a ton last week.
I don't know about that, but we had finished objects and everything.
That's true. I can't remember how many. I feel like we had a lot to show last week.
Well, we had a lot of. We were showing all the prizes and stuff.
No, I mean I felt like we had a lot of knitting to show last week.
I didn't. I think we may have 6 or something like that. I might be mistaken. I don't remember. I can't remember that far back. I wish I would stop doing this. I couldn't get
So
my.
you have to make sure you only one finger touches, otherwise it will.
Well, I was only doing one, but I was doing like this, and it started a lot.
And I think you're on. There we go.
Uh,
You're on full screen, which I think might have also been an issue.
My show notes didn't come through for whatever reason. They wouldn't come through, so I'm doing it off the email itself. And
That
it's not
might help a little
cooperating.
bit.
Okay. All right. My first one is my Pumi Baby hat. It's in my Kiki Bual's large size. I think we decided this was a large bag.
I mean, we don't know what her sizing is, but it's
It was a silver
equivalent
set,
to
yeah.
a silver shed bag.
I'm almost
that's large.
I'm almost finished with this little hat. I have about an inch to go. So I did a few rounds yesterday while I was waiting for Talia to get her CAT scan done. We'll talk about that later. But so it's coming along, and like I said, I don't know why these are taking me so long. I was able to crank these out. Wanted.
It's not what you want to work on right now.
I don't really want to work on anything right now. So that's that. It's a Cindy Wood loom, and the yarn is Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. I love the stripes, actually. And I don't know what the colors. I lost the ball band because I only have this much of the yarn
Good job,
left.
Dan.
Yeah, I blame Dan. That is Obi-Wan
Knitter.
Knitter. Okay.
You remember we actually, it was like the second episode or something that because he used to be Obi-Wan
Yeah,
Knitter.
we kept saying, no, it should be Obi-Wan Knitter. We love Kay and Dan.
Yes.
Anyway, okay.
Anywho, you get one more.
I get one more, yes.
Did that fix it? Doesn't seem to be.
It keeps moving a little bit, but it's okay. I'll work around it. Okay, this one I haven't worked on in a couple of weeks. This is my Taste of Honor Autumn Shawl. It's from the Scrap Shawl pattern by Anastasia Sattel, and I'm using Miss Babs Yowza, and these are all they're all colorways. I think it's I don't know what these are. I forget what these are. This one,
Because you did not end up using Reishi.
no, no, I didn't. This is Malabrigo, and I think this is antique gold.
Gold.
or
It is
something.
antique gold.
So this is Malabrigo here, this one. And then, I don't know what this is. Taya gave me this, I think.
No, I didn't own that.
You didn't own this?
No.
Okay.
I gave you the Matosh,
And then I got,
and
this-
I will be wanting
this
that
one.
back when you don't have any more left.
if I don't have any more left. So,
Because even scraps can be used for
Right.
my ornaments.
this is a very autumnal one. And you'll see in one of my other projects how it looks as it grows. But this is where I'm at for this one. The other one has outstripped it at this point, because that's what I wanted to work for Crystal's scrap, what is it? Stash Buster. She was doing shawls.
I heard scraptastic in my head.
Yes, well, somebody used to do Scraptastic.
Oh, did they?
But this, I didn't make the deadline, but I did do a lot of work on it. This is Silvershed USA's, is this the extra large? 'Cause you said
Yes,
she
I think
upped it.
so. Cause
Extra large, and this is Davina's artwork, the owls. I call it Archimedes because it reminds me of the owl from Sword in the Stone by Disney.
yeah, because an XX large. I don't have an XX large.
I
here
do,
to
it's
show.
down there, but yeah, we don't have it up here.
No, it's in my room.
I love this bag. It's one of my favorite bags Davina made for me. I mean, Davina drew the artwork and
And me.
made the bag. I love the fact that we have some bags
Excuse
that nobody
me.
else has. Makes me happy. Yes, it makes me happy.
You say
Donna.
it all the time.
Okay, it makes me happy. It does.
I'm not nearly as catchphrasy as you are. Let's see.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
I didn't say it like it was a bad thing. I just say I'm not as
Bad
catchphrasy.
thing.
Okay, Mom. If you want to feel like you're being put upon
I
and
am.
victimized,
Victimized. That's the term. See, you heard it here.
If you
She
wanna
bullies
feel
me.
like you-
heard it here.
are being victimized, that is
What is that?
Grandma and Grandpa calling.
Of course it is.
I'm going to put it on mute.
My parents have absolutely impeccable timing.
And I changed my ringtone to Lindsay Sterling.
Mhm.
I think it's Round Table Rival.
It's
No,
It was the one
it's
with the-
Halo.
oh, okay, yeah. We like Lindsay Sterling. She's great.
So
She's a violinist.
for a little while, when I first got sick, when anything was make me feel overstimulated, she was really, her music was really there for me. Okay, so let me open up my show notes. I'll call them back. They're gonna call the main phone.
Yeah, I know. I call them back bag.
Yes, I'll call them back.
Well, that's what you just said. In my,
It
I'll call
was
them back.
in my
I'll call
dot
them
dot. Come on, Mom.
Yes.
You gotta use your transcription ears.
No, not using my transcription ears. I'm using my literal ears. You said in my, I'll call them
There
back.
was a pause.
Barely discernible.
If you listen, there was a pause.
Why should I listen? You never have anything worthwhile to say. Wow. You oboe head.
I feel victimized.
Aw. Should I get Lindsay Sterling to play the violin?
Well, yes.
Yes. Yes, I should.
Okay. So,
We should tag the poor girl and see if how she feels about being bantered about. She's really something special.
Yes, she is.
really is. Very talented.
and she's got her music videos very imaginative.
Which is why we like them so
I
much.
really need to show you the one for her latest one, because from what I understand, all the songs are supposed to be kind of connected, and it's under the underground, under something. One of the songs, I really enjoyed the video for it.
I enjoyed the Christmas one she did. It was a Christmas medley.
Oh, is it? because she had a couple Christmas ones. She had one she did with the guy she did with Dancing with the... She did one with the guy from Dancing with the Stars that
Right.
she got second place with.
Right.
And she starts out dressed like in this 40s, 50s.
No, that's not it.
Okay.
It's actually dressed in what I assume is either Arab or early Israeli attire.
Okay.
And she's
There you
go. Just give it a second. I apologize. Just give it a second.
I told you.
Call from Abbeville.
But yeah, her music videos are
Actually-
really enjoyable and imaginative.
Actually, I should probably take this.
Okay, let me go ahead and pause.
We're back. I do apologize for having to take that. My parents are coming tomorrow, and I wanted to make sure that I could get a time to call them back later. As it turns out, they're going to be spending some time with a childhood friend of Talia's, Talia Davina's.
Yeah, we just recently reconnected
Yeah.
again. Last year, we were friends from like...
The early 90s.
Yeah, I was like 5 or 6 when I met her.
Yeah. She's
But we were apart from like 10-ish,
10 or 11.
10 or 11
Yeah.
until about last year.
And I mean, we
And
did,
the funny thing is, like, it doesn't feel... I mean, it feels like it was time because we missed our whole adult.
yeah.
But we were able to reconnect.
And we had connected before to for other things. Her parents came by with, there's something that happened, and they came by and we went to see her and that kind of stuff. And then they came by again. We got to the house, and they were looking at retiring. So we had connected occasionally, but her and her brother were very important to us during that period, and her parents. So it was nice. We pointed her in the direction of my parents.
Oh,
because,
I know in England she was definitely my best friend.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
She and her mother was my best friend, and she's now she's in the area where my parents are, so she's connecting with my parents to spend some time with them, which is nice. So, okay. Anyway, moving on. What were we talking about?
So, we were actually waffling about Lindsay Sterling.
Oh, okay. Well,
But I don't think I actually shared the project because Grandma and Grandpa called, Lindsay Sterling came in,
right.
which I think I tried to turn my neck and...
Don't do that.
Well, it wasn't like I did it on purpose. My neck warns me when I try. It
Right.
doesn't feel nice, so I don't get very far because I don't have the range of motion.
Why is the tea all gone?
Presumably because you drank it.
But why is the tea
Unless
all
you have a
gone?
gremlin.
I want Doctor Strange to make it fill up again, like he did for Thor. But Thor doesn't drink tea.
But he only did it from the mug.
Yeah, no,
Of
I know,
ale.
but he could do it for this.
Yeah, I mean, he can do it for anything.
Thor. What do you drink? Not tea.
So, this is my bonfire wrap. It is the Dobbinwood by K.F. Jones of Baker Bears fame. I realize I speak very quickly. I need to
kidding.
slow down.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the bonfire wrap. It's the Dobbinwood by K.F. Jones of Bakery Bears fame. You see, that's more understandable, and it doesn't sound like I'm on on old tapes. yes. You need to hit fast forward. I just was listening to myself. I'm like, oh, I speak very quickly.
That's just something we do.
That is definitely not a South
Hey,
thing.
look. Mine matches mine, and yours matches yours. Matchy.
So
Dan said that the other day. I think it was Dan. I may be using his name in vain, but I think it was Dan. It said matchy.
Kay might have said something.
No,
like
it was Dan.
that. Does it sound like something Dan
I
would
know.
say?
That's why it's stuck in my head. I think it was on the pop.
I came in a little late on the pop, so I might have missed it. But this is made with Miss Babs Yao's in the colorways Wanna Go Crazy. Or in the colorway Wanna Go
Is this
Crazy.
one?
That's the
Yeah,
orange.
okay.
The one that makes me think of the Bangles, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And the brown we said was espresso. That's the other Miss Babs. And then there's orange and
Mm-hmm. Would you
yellow.
say that word again, please?
Espresso?
Espresso.
I know that's not how it's supposed to be pronounced, but that was something else they discussed in my class from Bright Courses, was the fact that a lot of people take that
Yeah.
S out and make it an X.
Mhm.
And it's something to do with, because some words change. She mentioned several words that change because of the vowel before it, you end up adding something because it's a natural shift of your sounds.
But it is. I know because
you have to actually. I always say espresso, but it becomes more naturally espresso.
But it is espresso.
It is espresso.
I know for the longest time I thought it was espresso because I thought it was.
So I think it's a slurring.
Yeah, it's a.
I forget. It's a sliding. I think she called it a sliding.
It's a sloppy speech pattern.
Yeah, it's when you're saying something quickly, it slides in. 'Cause she mentioned several words.
Salmon.
No, salmon was mentioned for a different thing.
No, I know, but it's. I've heard people say salmon. Or salmon.
Salmon is a common pronunciation. Only recently has the L been put back in. A couple words are like that where they're putting the previously unpronounced letter back in, because I say salmon.
I don't get the TH. I'm going to have to do some research into that. The TH where you have Teresa, there's no H there, but then you have something like thatch and it's TH and thatch.
But I think Teresa, maybe it's maybe where its origin is from.
It could be. I would be interested. You can tell we like words.
There's a couple words that she mentioned, I wish I could remember some of them, where they actually changed the spelling of the word because of that slide where people
that makes sense.
Were adding an extra thing and it didn't exist. But anyway.
Invincible ignorance?
Well, it's just the change of the language. It's a living language.
It is definitely. It's not like Latin that's,
where it's just fascinating.
Oh, I love languages. Awesome.
This class has been thoroughly enjoyable for me. For the grade courses. But anyway. This yellow gold, it's got some yellowish and then some orange in here. That is Dragonfly Fibers. It was from the Rodeo kit. This got a very little work, I think, this week.
I think I'm going to take a page out of Dragonfly Fibers and some of the other people I've seen and not necessarily label my yarns in the kits. Just put them in there and it's a kit, Well,
you basically did that for Davina's Christmas stocking.
No,
no.
I
guess
mean,
none of them were.
I mean,
the only problem is when you don't label them for that is if you want to do it separately.
Well, I'm not saying I won't know it.
And then it might develop its own name if you use it again.
Well, no, I mean, it's harder to get like bands to fit it and things like that. I might put it the way I think it was Neighborhood Fibers. They didn't put it on the scale. It might have been Neighborhood Fibers. One of the places they had the ball bands, but they didn't have the colorway on the ball bands. They had it on like a slip of paper, like I put in my kits, and they put the colorways, which is what I did, I think, for the kits.
Because I like having the name of the colorways because then if I run out of something, say I chose not to use it for the kit that I bought it for, because I do that very frequently.
So do I.
Then if I run out of the yarn that I have there, I can't pick it up because I don't know what color matches it if I'm buying it online, and the colors aren't necessarily real to what I have in front of me because screens are different.
Right.
So I prefer having a colorway name within a kit.
But a lot of people don't do it.
No, but if I was to have my druthers, and there's a word that is...
All right, no.
Would rather.
No.
Actually, it's your turn.
It is?
It is your turn.
Okay.
So,
all right.
If I could do the full movement, I can't though. It requires more of a spinal movement than I'm allowed.
I steal that little girl. She was so cute when she did that. Okay. This is another...
Because I think what's so funny about it is she's a little blonde girl, right?
Yeah. This is another one of the Scrap Shawl by Anastasia Sattel, and I call this the Numeria Shawl Project because the blue is Numeria, and the other one is Vote. And I made quite a bit of progress on this, and then I kind of got sidetracked. So you can see. Can you see it? I can't see through the thing very well.
Hang on, I'll help you position. It's you can see through it.
Yeah, it's a very lightweight because I use such a big hook, and I think I'm about ready.
You like a nice what's it called? Not fluffy,
Bouncy?
No, that's exact. It's a where it's really light. It's a
Oh, yeah,
nice, has a word. I'll think about it.
Is a word?
There is a word.
There is a word. Anyway, this one, and I haven't blocked it or anything. Obviously, I'm not done with it. So I'm going to be adding another of this color, and then I'm going to be adding the border. So when I realized I wasn't quite close to finishing, I just didn't rush it anymore for the along. But it's pretty big size. I really like this. It's pretty.
Drapey has the idea, but not the word I'm thinking of. It describes like that it's.
Well, and you can see the difference. Let me just make sure I didn't lose my hook. You can see the difference between this one, which is done in a sport weight, and this one, and with a larger hook, and this one that's done in a DK in the hook that's supposed to be used. You can see the difference in the way it drapes.
I mean, lighter gets the idea across, but because this is definitely a heavier, it's more solid, and this is light.
This is almost ephemeral, almost. It's very, very lightweight. It's enough that if it's a spring or summer day or an early fall day, it would keep you warm.
I know there's a perfect word
Take the
for
chill off
it,
of you.
and I had it, and I know it, and it's not in my brain.
I'm just trying to see. It doesn't really need to be much bigger. The wingspan, I like to have just a little longer wingspan on it, and that will happen when I'm doing the next few rows, and when I add the border. So this is getting close to being done, or as Ty would say, close to done, which is not proper English, but oh well.
That was a Pittsburgh thing.
I know. Doesn't make it correct.
But it is a language shift, and it could possibly become more correct. And it's in, I think they said it was Scottish in origin.
Oh really?
Yep.
Okay, let's go. Move on to the next one.
Okay.
Okay.
So, the more you know. Did I not
Oops.
update these shows?
Oops, is it
Oh, yes, I
mine?
did. Okay. So, in my, my brace tried to take a flying leap. Okay.
Where's my other bag?
Which bag?
Did I?
Did you miscount? Or did you just forget to grab
I
one?
might have put one down on the ground that I forgot to. I didn't have
Okay.
it
Well, while
yet.
you're looking at that,
here
in
it is. Okay.
my Mama C tutor bag is, this I haven't worked on in a long time. I didn't have a lot of brain power most of the week.
Mama C is Christina,
Yes.
and she's the sweetest person.
So most of the patterns I got a decent amount of work on are fairly simple. This is the Wingy and Baby Blanket, and when I finish it, I'll probably put it out as a free pattern on Lovecrafts because it's very simple. And I'm using Lion Brand Pound of Love in the colorway 103 Pink. This is Burn Your Eyes Pink.
Is that what it's called, or are you calling it
That's
that?
what I'm calling it.
That's not Burn Your Eyes. I have Burn Your Eyes Pink, and this is not it.
I guess it's more like Barbie Pink.
Yeah.
But it feels like
I would
it's...
call this Baby Girl Pink, or Blush even. I guess a little darker than a blush. That's pretty.
Yeah, so, and just very simple, which is what I needed this week, was something just very simple that didn't require any focus whatsoever. Preferably something that I didn't have to, because with this one here, the rows are shorter, so I kept having to do seed stitch. So if I hit I was in a non-seed stitch section for most of the time when I was working on this, so I didn't have to worry about seed stitch for a much longer time. So that's why that got as much work as it did.
That's a pretty fabric.
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right.
You said fabric, right? Not pattern.
fabric.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said.
Okay. In my... Oh, cool. Let me get my...
Because it would sound really weird if my response to you saying that was a pretty pattern, and I go, yeah, I know it is.
Okay. Now, and the pattern's cute, too. And I might test that one for you if you need a tester.
It'll be free, so I probably won't need a tester, but I'll, maybe I decide to do like it for $1 or something. Where's my needle?
What I might do for that, though, is, I don't know. Here's your case.
I'm looking for my... There it is.
I might do, if I do that for you, I might do it in a heavier weight yarn and try and do like a preemie blanket, just to
Heavier weight or lighter weight?
heavier. for a preemie?
That's going to be fairly large, Mom.
Not. Yeah, I guess I can cut it down.
It's going to be easy enough to cut down, but that's fairly large. That's as wide as this.
Right.
So, I mean, look at the width of, because
Yeah.
the stitch count is similar.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So, yeah, you're not going to want to go up on weight of yarn and needle.
Well, I would have to go up with the needle too.
But, I mean, you wouldn't want to go up on those things if you're trying for a preemie blanket.
well, I would have to cut the count down. Is what I
Yeah.
would do.
Now this, because it's a baby yarn, and it might be like a worsted or something. Maybe a DK.
What was the yarn?
Pound of Love.
Is it worsted?
Yeah. So, I mean, you could go down to like a sport and a smaller needle size, and you might get something that's a little bit more.
Or I could use what you have and do a bigger needle and get a more airy blanket.
Right.
Okay. The airy might be the word you were looking for.
I think that might have been what I was looking for.
Okay. The other thing I've got here now is in my PHN Chameleon bag. This was the 5-year mark and of our podcast. And this is the At the Bottom of the Hill scarf. And I modified this from a book I saw in a secondhand store at the bottom of the hill. I didn't want to buy the book for one pattern. And it was really simple, so I just remembered the notes and wrote it down. And I'm not sure if it's exactly what it is, but this is in,
That's a new project, right?
yes. This is James C. Brett in the MC9 or MC10 colorway. It's a tan. It's kind of a, heathered, but it has a little bit of
Texture to it.
text. I don't know. It's got a little depth to it, and it's a very simple pattern. My own pattern. Well, no, it's
based off of what.
it's based off of something I read. I don't think I changed it much, and if I decide to change it, like make a certain amount and then change it, then I'll see what happens about that. But anyway, this is what it looks like so far. It's a very, very simple pattern. I'm using Chalgu Red Lace circular needles, and I think they're size 10.
It's got a fun texture to it. Initially, I thought it was similar to, you know, those socks of K's that I've made that were figure weight, and I made it into like a DK or worsted out of Heidi's
The
yarn.
chimney one?
The chimney one.
Yeah.
At first, I thought it was that kind of texture, but it's not. That's why I wanted to pull it a little closer. I couldn't tell.
Right. And it's mindless. I just have to remember what side I'm on. That's why I marked it, because there is a difference in the two rows.
I think once you get along, it's pretty easy to tell, but it's good to mark.
I like to mark things just because I don't always,
Well, sometimes you have issues reading your knitting, don't you?
sometimes. I mean, I can see this one pretty clearly. It's almost like a ribbing.
Because I'm that person that, say I'm decreasing on a toe of a Christmas stocking or something, I won't mark where my decreases are, or I won't write down how many decreases I have to do if I know I have to go down to a certain number of stitches. I'll just go, oh, that was a decreased row, that was a row ago, so now I do the decreased row.
Right.
So I read my knitting and do that.
I do read my stuff a little bit, but especially if it's crochet, but not with knitting as much. And I think
you're probably improving on that, but I know it's not something you always feel comfortable with.
Yeah. I just, Okay, so that's that one.
Okay, so I have one final one. I might actually finish weaving in my ends before. Okay, this one barely got started. This one. Okay, so I kind of accidentally wrote a pattern yesterday.
She didn't accidentally write anything. She was writing it. Took her all day.
So
And no, it's not a toy.
no, it's not a toy. We might see a shift, actually.
I want a toy. I want my teddy bear.
That time might be over.
I want a teddy bear.
That time might be over.
I want a teddy bear.
So I was, as you'll see in finished objects, I finished to be in a stocking. No shocker, I'm sitting here weaving in the ends. But Mom had suggested, oh hey, because I was like, oh, I guess all my stockings now are going to be for charity. She's like, oh hey, your grandparents would probably really love, the ones that try to call during the podcast, your grandparents would probably really love stockings. You should make them ones with alternate colors, like flip colors. I was like, well, that's a good idea. And I looked at my patterns that I had, and I was like, a lot of the ones I have that I haven't knit have worsted weight yarn. I really don't have that much worsted weight yarn because I tend to prefer DK or Sport.
I have a whole bunch of worsted weight yarn if you need it.
But it's acrylic.
No, I have worsted weight yarn up there that I can color.
Oh, okay, but I was looking at my stash. Because I wanted to start right away. And then I was like, I could write one. So I did. And I found a good place that could, like, I'm in love with the way I made my charts look. I did the maths, and I spent all day doing math and writing the pattern, and I'm just so psyched about it. I've written a Christmas stocking pattern, and now that I have my basic idea of how to do it, you're going to probably see a fair amount of Christmas stockings. I have a basic ornament that I've stolen aspects from, or I borrowed aspects from different patterns and adjusted them to be the way I want them to be. So you might eventually see some ornaments, some tams, you know.
None of which I will be able to test for her.
Eventually, maybe fingerless mitts. It just, this, I'm excited about this. And it's been a long time since I've had that kind of
That's awesome.
excitement where I don't want to, the last time I've had the excitement where I don't want to go to bed until I finish what I'm working on was when I was designing, I know I did for
York.
I did for York. Yeah,
York
I
was
stayed,
like, boom.
well, also Barry I finished very similar to this. I finished in less than 24 hours.
York was pretty quick because we were
And
talking
York was
about
the
it, yeah.
same way. Like, I ended up adjusting the pattern a little bit afterwards, but I finished him, again, within 24 hours. It's been a long time since I've had that kind of like, man, I'm so inspired. Like, I don't need to eat. I don't need to do anything but focus on this. So it was really great to have that again, especially after the way this week has been. But, so this is my Christmas stocking bag by Silvershed USA. It's Snoopy Christmas. Eventually, down the line, it's not going to be anytime soon because I simply, well, we'll talk about that. But I want to eventually get like a Silvershed, one of her, and that's not a bucket bag. Maybe it's a bucket bag. I want to try one of her other bags that's a different size for ornaments.
You mean the adventure bag?
The adventure bag. And there's one of her other Christmas fabrics because I always have an ornament going and a Christmas stocking going, and I kind of like them to be both in Christmas bags. But this one's perfect shape for stockings. So it's barely. You might see the first one finished by next time. It depends on the week I have.
Yeah. Don't say who's that belong. Well, I guess he doesn't watch the podcast, so.
Yes, because we did say already that was great for the grandparents. So, very beginning for Grandpa. This is the one that's actually gonna match the colors on the chart. And then I would flip it for hers.
For Grandma's.
Yeah, for Grandma's. And what I think will probably happen is I'll have the picture in the front of the pattern be his. And then maybe at the end I'll take a picture
Of hers.
when it's done. So I'll let you guys know when I'll be able to put it up for testing. I'm just really psyched about this. Actually seeing some charts of my own making on something that looks official was super cool. It made me feel like a real designer.
You are a real designer.
Yeah, but it made me feel like a real designer. Like, it was so cool. It made me feel like I was like Linda Moss or something. And Linda, I know you don't watch, but heart you. So there we go. Very barely started. And I'm really excited, guys. I can't wait to share this with you. Because you've been here for all my design stuff, and this is a new I think we all kind of knew eventually it would go this direction. Dad's been saying for a while, why aren't you designing color work? And I think it kind of started a little bit with the Venus stocking, where I was like, I like this in the pattern, but I want the Venus stocking to have this. And this is the first one I was like, okay, I like that stitch count, but let's tear everything apart. And most of my patterns are probably going to be a sport DK weight because that's what I tend to keep on hand. You might occasionally see a lighter weight, but that's probably what I'll mostly.
If you wanted to do it more, so would you just make it bigger
For which?
for the socks here?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so they could do another.
they could do it. It would just be like if you really are going to stuff your stocking. So yeah, I'm really excited, guys. This feels almost more real than my toys did. I don't know.
Okay, my last one is in my Mama C, that's Christina, Googly Eyes owl bag that she gave me. I love this. It makes me happy.
Okay, I think that someone needs to do the new drinking of tea game, because we're a kid-friendly podcast here. The new drinking of tea game needs to be every time you say "makes me happy."
Well,
I think you say that far more than we say "oops." It's funny.
It's a bunny. So this is my, I don't have any tea, and I don't want to mix my water with tea right now. This is my blueberry dishcloth pattern.
You do realize that tea is basically flavored water, right?
No, but my stomach doesn't want water.
Did you need ginger?
No, I'll be all right for a second.
Okay.
This is,
Yes, I keep ginger with me at all times.
Yeah. This is my Easy Beginners round dishcloth. I did one of these already. Mike took it to work along with the other one. So this is a new one. And I did this in one sitting.
I think it's great that his request was for something like a dishcloth. Like, that's so cool. He started to make requests for his stuff.
He took both of them in that I showed last week.
So is this one for him as well?
No, this will go on the table or to charity or whatever. I was
our table stuff is building up.
Yeah. This actually might be part of a gift. I like these. I might make a set of red, green, and cream and give it to Grandma for Christmas.
I have like the Darkwing Duck song in my head.
That has nothing to do with
I know,
this.
but it's like you're saying colors, and I was thinking about when he's saying colors.
She doesn't listen to me. She just
I'm
there's
listening,
always
but
something,
music.
There's always something going on in her head, not my talking.
This played in my head.
I started this. I had to start this over like 3 or 4 times, not because it was hard, but because I was watching a movie with my husband.
Oh.
And I got the wrong hook. I couldn't remember what hook I did, and I'm like, I don't like the way this looks. So it was too large a hook. It wasn't the hook I used before. So I got my G hook out and restarted it, and now it's just fine. Like I said, I did this in one sitting.
I've done that before, where I'll start something and then I'll look at, like, say, a ribbing. Ribbing usually is a very good indicator for me. I'll look at a ribbing and be like, that looks gross. I need to go down a needle size. Usually it's down. It's not usually up.
Well, this one was down because there was, for me, a hot pad or a coaster or something doesn't need to have a lot of space in between.
I feel that's the way ribbing is too. If you have too much space in a ribbing, it just doesn't look good.
Right. Well, for the hot pads, it's a functional thing. You don't want to be having your hand touch the hot stuff. So, but I really like this pattern. Like I said, I think it was Rena who told me about this. So I really appreciate you posting this. And a little bit of a thank you in advance to Patty, who is Wombat of Doom. She posted a video in our... Which thread was it? I think it was Stash Enhancements, but it might have been Charity. I forget. She posted a video about a place where you can get patterns. It's the way of making hats. And I think they were top down, which is really... I wonder if she said it was top down. I thought at first maybe it was a crochet, but I think it's knit. And I need to ask her...
You see, for knit, unless you're doing provisional cast on...
I don't know.
That would be challenging.
I think she started with DPNs.
No, I mean, even if you start with DPNs, it's really fiddly.
I don't know.
Because
I have to look at it in any event, Patty.
I would start with a provisional cast on with something like that if you're doing it from the top.
Patty, if you see this, you can tell me where I'm wrong if I don't go back to the thread. But it looks very interesting.
For crochet works a lot better from the top, I believe. Unless you're doing provisional cast on.
But you don't do a crochet provisional cast
Unless... In knitting, if you do a provisional cast on, you can do a top down, I believe.
But anyway,
because then you would just take your stitches at the end and pull through.
She posted that video, and I'm going to take a look at it. I'm hoping I can do maybe magic loop with that. I need to learn magic loop so I can do some of these things I want to do, because I think that's holding me back, not wanting to do DPNs, and I haven't learned magic loop yet. So
you could also do 2 circulars.
Yeah, that's true. And
it does require more needles, though. And the challenge is to make sure you don't accidentally knit with the...
That's why I would do one would be a ChiaoGoo and one would be a Knit Picks or
I
something.
have still done that before, though,
Yeah.
where I wasn't quite paying attention, because you would think when doing the ChiaoGoo and the Zings, which are completely different color
Different, yeah.
needles, if I'm really caught up in my knitting and I'm also reading a book at the same time, I'll look down and I'll have accidentally gotten the other needle, now magic looping, so then I have to go and fix it.
I
I'm
absolutely
so sorry, guys.
I absolutely love my ChiaoGoos, and I think my second ones are the Zings. I really like the
That's
Zings.
the way it is for me too.
The Knit Picks I use if I don't have anything else. They're not bad, but
No.
they're wood, and I prefer the metal.
Laura sent me a message, actually just today, about
Laura who?
concert.
Okay.
Sent me a message just today about one of the Knit Picks needles that recently came out.
Oh, the new ones, the Prisms?
The new, yeah, I think it was the
Prisms,
Prisms.
yeah.
And she says if you like the Zings, you'll really like the Prisms.
But aren't they acrylic?
No, I think they're the same as the Zings.
Okay, we'll have to take a look at that.
Uh-huh.
I saw those Laura concert, crocheting Hoovian. Are they only interchangeables? Because I think I looked at them and they were only interchangeables. I don't want interchangeables.
Yeah, I don't know. I know Zings you can get non-interchangeable, and for the most part, I prefer Zings non-interchangeable because I think their connection, they start unscrewing very easily.
That's what Knit Picks does. That's why I don't like the
because ChiaoGoos are generally a little bit better about that, but interchangeables in general, I admit to the necessity of interchangeables because there's quite a lot of times where I have the needle size but not necessarily the cord size I need, so that's very useful. But in a practical sense of them coming apart on me, I mean, you can tighten them.
I prefer-
I've never lost stitches because of something.
No, I haven't either. But I prefer the what do you call them? Fixed.
The fixed ones. Oh, those are my preference as well.
All right. So what are we doing here?
So that was your last project. Do you
Yep.
have any of those?
No.
Okay. Is there anything else we can waffle about before I fit? Because I have literally one more tail to.
No.
Okay. Well,
let's
maybe
see.
I'll turn it inside out and.
Let's see if I can. I mean, I guess I could talk about shop news. Or
Okay,
whatever.
because there's not a lot of shop news.
No, my shop, I have done absolutely no yarn dyeing. And we'll talk about this later, but it's been a week of, until yesterday, I had like 3 projects or 2 projects or whatever it was until a couple days ago. Just not, I'm too tired. There's been a lot of weather
Well,
and stuff.
I feel. I'm not sure something's coming in, but I'm getting a little the nerve pain. I
Right,
get
but we'll
sometimes
talk
here
more
with
about-
weather.
we'll
no,
talk-
I'm just saying in general. I think
Yeah.
there might be some weather coming in.
There's weather coming in, I think, and it's just, you know, I would sit down with my husband, I'd go to sleep. We watched a movie last night, and I made it through the movie barely, and then just started nodding. I was in bed, you know, between 7:30 and 8:30. I usually go to bed about 8:30 anyway, but I was, you know, heading off to bed really early because I was just too tired. I couldn't focus if I
You
stayed
were
up.
getting to bed really early.
I couldn't focus on what I was doing, so I didn't want to knit or crochet. Some of the energy is coming back, but it's just when I can't focus, I don't want to knit, I don't want to crochet, I didn't write.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I sit there and kind of like, you know, I did clean the house. I cleaned.
Are you a stress cleaner?
No, I don't think so. I'm more.
Because I've heard of people who are like
Yeah.
procrastinators or stress cleaners, just like there's procrastinators.
Yeah, no, when
cookers.
I'm stressed, I either do something physical or I'll bake.
So you're a procrastinator
Yeah,
or a stress baker.
you know, it's just I have to be doing something. But are you ready now?
I am. Let me turn this inside out and put it on a blocker, because I am gonna have to block this. So I finished Davina's Christmas stocking, and literally right on the air, I finished all the weaving in of the ends.
At least it fits on there. That's good.
It's not gonna stretch it like I hoped it would, but it'll help.
It's not big enough to stretch it.
Yeah. So there's Davina's
that
Christmas
looks nice.
stocking.
Isn't that pretty? She'll love it. Oh, you get to hang it with the others before Grandma comes.
Yeah, so I'll block it.
Are you gonna block it tonight?
I'm gonna have to block it today. Because I
the-
can't hang it not blocked.
Yeah.
It's
So hopefully it'll dry before they
Yeah.
get here. They'll probably be here about, you know.
at the very least I'll be able to hang it on Monday. Because especially with the Intarsia, The Antarja is where I actually just talked about this to somebody in my color group because I asked her, hey, I always get confused about the difference between Antarja and Fair Isle. And it's not so much the geometric versus non-geometric. It has something to do with the space, the number of stitches you have between a change in color. So, like, if you have long sections of one color,
That's Antarja, isn't it?
that's Antarja. If you have shorter sections, that's Fair Isle. So, like, most of these are Fair Isle, but this dog is Antarja.
That looks really cute.
So my Antarja tends to bunch a little bit more, so I do need to block that. And I think it'll help. I think it'll be about as wide as yours.
I won't get anything in it then.
It'll have. I probably should block yours while I'm at it. Just put a color catcher in there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Be careful with that. I don't want to ruin Davina's
Maybe I could do them in separate
bowls or something.
or something.
I have a bowl you can use.
Or do it separate days or whatever. Because yours doesn't seem to bunch the way Davina's does a little bit.
You can do hers first. I can always do mine later.
So there we go. She's super excited this is done. Long before Christmas. And I love I-cord.
Yes.
I-cord's my friend. So yeah. That got finished. It took me all week to finish the toe. I should have had this finished on Sunday. But, okay.
So is that the only FO?
Yeah.
Okay, so are we doing a stash enhancement?
We're doing stash enhancement.
And then we'll go to shop news.
Okay. First I have faux stash enhancement.
What?
Faux stash enhancement. So, like, not really a stash enhancement.
Oh, I do too.
So, let me move my real stash enhancement up here and get my faux. So, my faux stash enhancement, I was going downstairs looking for something. I can't even remember.
Yeah, she is going up and downstairs now, so that's good.
Yeah. I do it when I feel up to it. So I went downstairs to get something. I can't remember what it was. But I discovered while I was down there looking for whatever it was. Oh, I was looking for see if I had any more almonds, my sriracha almonds, because Martin's appears to have stopped selling them. So I didn't have any more. I finished the last of them. But when I was looking for them, I discovered I had a bag, a Dragonfly Fibers bag that was full of purple packages. And I was like, I have Plum Deluxe tea down here?
Yeah, because I had to put everything away when you were so sick.
Right. And because I haven't been downstairs except for the briefest amount of time, I forgot about it. Also, I wasn't drinking tea, so I just recently, in the past week or so, started introducing tea back in. And now I'm drinking at least a cup of tea daily again, and I'm really enjoying having that again. But, yeah, I believe that that had been the tea I took to work when I worked in the hospital. I used to like to have some tea there, and when I left hospital work, I guess we're going on a little over a year.
No, it's almost
2 years.
Almost 2 years.
Almost
2 years? But it's all about almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. I left in June, somewhere around there.
June or July. Yeah.
June or July. So we're getting close to 2 years, but we're not there yet. We have a couple months. But almost 2 years ago, when I stopped working at the hospital, I took all my tea home, and I guess because I felt so bad, and I really stopped drinking tea because I was overheating so easily. I still overheat, but so I forgot I had this, and I had this box.
Yeah, from the cinema.
Because I couldn't quite bring myself to get rid of the box because it's such a nice box. It's really well made.
The other one that's like this, that's mine, is up there with the baby hats that are going to Kim.
It's sturdy. It's just a nice box. I mean, it's only cardboard, but it's sturdy. So, a box full of tea that I did not know I still had. I found that I still had chamomile that I thought I had ran out. It was a different kind of chamomile than what I have. I don't know if he has his chamomile anymore. Some of these teas are quite on the older end. And the other one that I discovered that I had that I didn't know was the ginger one. And I've discovered that for the ginger, where a lot of teas, I do 2 teaspoons. ginger probably can stand just one because it's very strong.
You said it was almost medicinal when you...
Yes, it was. It was almost like taking one of my ginger chews and drinking it. So I was like, okay, this is good, but next time I'm doing 1 teaspoon. It'll last longer that way.
Yeah. Now my faux FO makes me happy.
That's Felicia.
Talia made this, and it was in her office, and it's now sitting here, and we will discuss why she's sitting here later. But she makes
yes,
me happy.
and this is
It's all my yarn.
actually
Tara.
no, the yarn. I think it makes me happy yarn.
Makes me happy yarn, and this is the attendant colors that went with it. I think I made this for her to do this.
Yes, you did, because I wanted.
I think Laura Concert has
Laura
yes.
saw me making it, and then she wanted one.
So she bought the yarn for me, and she made it. So, but this one is, yay, makes me happy. And actually, it makes me happy yarn. Her name is Felicia, and she goes up here. Okay. So that's the faux.
Oops. I guess now it's time for real.
Real FOs.
Because
real session husband.
and I was sitting on mine, but
Yeah. And the tea that I drank today was part of our tea session.
right, because it was in the kit. I'm still a Plum Deluxe member. They do something which is really awesome, where they allow you to go on break as a subscriber if you still need to drink through a lot of tea, if whatever your reasons are, they give you periods of time where you can extend to go like, well, I'm coming back, don't get rid of me, but I need a break from getting tea coming in. So I'm on a break, and they have now something where you can get half a pack a month, which I think when I come back, that's what I'll do. So I can still try new teas and determine whether or not I like them, but the expense is a little less for me, and also I won't accumulate the same amount of tea. But before I realized I had more chamomile, I got in some more cuddle time because I think I finished it the other day. And I love having this before bed. It's so relaxing. I had to pick up a card because Mom gave me some, but it's a limited time one. So this is the one Mom gave me. And here's my other tube of cards because I know it won't always be there.
Right. And he doesn't know if he'll be doing it again.
A lot of people were like, oh my gosh, we need to get more of the Picard before he gets rid of it.
Right.
Because he already discontinued one that I loved, was gone. He discontinued the purple tea. And that's all it was called, was purple tea. It was a Kenyan tea. So I'm trying to find my staple black tea, because purple tea was my staple black tea. I would drink it with everything.
And we went through our teas that we have, because we both have a huge stash, to see what we like, what our preferences are.
Right. For example, we'll see whether or not I still keep the banana bread dessert tea.
I really like it.
Actually, I'm just gonna give it to you because I'm really so.
Thank you.
I don't think I'll drink it a lot.
So this one, now I have 2 of these. I gave her yesterday, or last podcast, I gave her the Picard.
Right.
So we just switched,
Yeah.
essentially. We each did one drink out of it. So
Because I just don't like. I don't care for banana. I don't know that I would necessarily choose to drink it again.
I like it.
So, and then I have California Gray herbal tea as well. So,
I think I gave you one of those, too.
you might have. It's not opened yet. You must have.
That one, that you just bought that one.
Yeah.
I have to see if I kept it or not. Let me see what's
I'm
in
not
it.
sure if it's one you gave me or if it's one that I bought.
No, I have one in my thing. I might have kept it. I think this is one I decided to keep for the moment to see how I like it.
Okay.
Because it has apple in it. And,
Okay.
and I do like apple in my tea.
Because I remember you and I had a discussion about why you didn't like another tea, and we were wondering if maybe it was the bergamot essence.
No, I have bergamot in a lot of things.
Okay.
Now, you might hear extraneous noise. My husband is not doing his artwork right now. He just got out and he's probably cleaning his brushes and things. I have the lime and the coconut is what I call this. It's happy hour blend, herbal tea.
Makes you happy.
Makes me happy. It tastes so good. I love it. And then I got vanilla sugar cookie dessert tea. I got another one of these because I absolutely love it. And all his dessert teas or most of them are going away.
They're
the Christmas ones. Well, not for good.
They were on sale just because it was.
Yeah.
He was doing a sale on them, but that's done now.
I think he stops doing these like vanilla Christmas.
He stops doing some of them, I think,
but not
like,
all of them, because
the chocolate hazelnut is
that
always
stays,
available,
yeah.
and I think the chocolate dessert macaron one is, and maybe the peppermint one.
But a lot of them do go away for the season.
Now, some of them are labeled as dessert, and I didn't realize they were dessert. Like, the one I'm drinking now, I think, is labeled as a dessert. But I might be wrong. Let's see.
I think Sweet Spot is labeled as dessert.
I thought this one was labeled as a dessert. Yeah, I think it is because of the chocolate and cocoa nibs. I think this was what considered dessert tea. Because I was really surprised. I was like, oh, it's on sale. I'll try it.
That one would taste really good with cheesecake. Although I don't care for the smokiness. It would go well with cheesecake.
And I love a smoky tea. Actually, I feel like a smoky tea almost tastes better when it starts cooling down. It's good when it's hot, but once it hits like room temperature, it hits its prime taste. I don't know what it is about it. It's like, if I have a smoky tea, I don't care if it gets cold. It's amazing.
Okay. So I ended up with 3 teas, and Taya has several. All right. Now, going into...
And you didn't show the ones that, because I included the ones that I picked up the first time around. Did you?
I showed that last time.
We didn't know you didn't have it last time.
Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't.
I think we did. We can show it. We can look and see.
Because I pulled mine and showed it this time.
That doesn't sound like I would have put them away. I'm pretty sure we showed them last time.
No, I didn't have it last time.
We'll check and see. Regardless, I think I did. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
Because I only just had the card last time.
All right, my Etsy shop. I already talked a little bit about the Etsy shop. I'm really hoping... I don't know... Well, I'm hoping that I can get some yarn dyeing done this weekend, but I do have visitors coming. My parents are coming tomorrow afternoon, and they're leaving on Monday, probably around no later than noon. They don't live very far away. They're about 4 hours away. So they'll stay overnight on Sunday and leave Monday sometimes. I think we're going to go out to eat breakfast or something before they leave. But, so I don't know
Excuse me, guys.
when I'm going to have time to dye yarn this week. I might have to wait till next week. I'm hoping that I can at least get some one-of-a-kinds done during the week so I can start getting my shop a little more updated. There are things in the shop, but I'm a little crunched for time at the moment. It's been difficult to find any brain space or creativity to do anything like that this past week. So just keep an eye on the shop if you want to, if you're looking for something like that. Hopefully it'll be in the next couple of weeks or so that I'll be able to start updating again. And I always have kind of a, not a letdown, kind of a leveling off after a big push, like I did at Christmas, and I did.
We also need, like, it's like when you have like a really big creative burst, it's like then you need to recover.
So it's just, so that I think I'm coming
Actually,
out of
you know, when it comes to equivalent, almost, you know, like when you are reading so much for school that when you get out of school you don't want to read because you've been doing it so much, and I think that's kind of maybe where you're at.
So just keep an eye on it, and hopefully that'll be changing in the near future. I also have some ideas for other things going on in my head, and you know, the Lenten practices we have now with, you know, time limits on things like and church activities and things like that will be taking up time, like, and we'll talk about this more later, but next Saturday we have a Lenten all-day retreat, so that those things all cut into our time. And so I don't know, especially for dyeing, if I'm yarn dyeing, if I'm doing, you know, project or something, I might be able to sit and, you know, knit during a break or something, but not yarn dye, so we'll see what happens.
You mean you can't take your dyeing equipment to the church?
I'm sure they'd love that. Okay, so
before I forget, I did actually forget about part of my stash enhancement. It's sitting right here in front of me. It was about as much as one of the on sale teas. He has,
I want to get one of
Andy
those.
has little tea tins. And I said, okay, I can only have one, and this is the one I liked anyway.
Yeah, that's what I like too.
It says, where there's tea, there's hope. And underneath it says, fine taste since 1836. And I put one of my staple teas in here. So this is my chocolate hazelnut dessert tea. And I put the label under here, and I have the label under the tin as well. And as I find that they start having issues sticking when I get another one, I can always replace the label. So, oh, that smells good.
I love that tea.
So I need to have that again at some point. I could see eventually maybe having one for cuddle time. Because I drink a lot of chamomile. I really like chamomile. Unfortunately, some of my black teas, they tend to go in and out of circulation. And if there's not going to be something they tend to keep, I don't want to put it in a tin.
I will probably get a couple for the ones that are my super favorites, and because the other ones kind of, they don't go in and out of favor necessarily, but I don't want to have to go looking for my very favorite ones. And
Right.
I have a big box.
Like when you're just like, oh, I just want a good tea, and you're like, oh, well, this is always a good tea. Now my one non-Plum Deluxe tea that I might have to keep in stock is I really do enjoy the Edgar Allan Poe tea.
I don't know where you can find it again. Is that was from Williams?
No, that was not from Williamsburg. I think I found it online.
I have a tea that, if we ever go back to Percival, that I got when we were doing our anniversary that time in the tea shop. I have to pick that up again. It's a chocolate tea. I really like my chocolate teas. And it was really, really good. And I have a little left. And the one I got from Cleveland that one time was really good, but I can't get that again. So,
Yeah, it's Edgar Allan Poe's Black Tea Blend. Here it is. It's on Amazon.
oh, okay, yeah.
I thought I had gotten it from here. It's the library tea selection because there's a bunch of different ones. I think this was the one that I liked the best, but they have also Jane Austen's Black Tea Blend. They have just a whole selection of the black tea blends that are the library tea collection. And now that I'm drinking my tea again, every once in a while, maybe as a gift or, like add it on my Christmas list or something, because I'm not going to drink through it very quickly. It's probably about this size.
The other place we can get some good teas like that is at the bookstore. Occasionally they have good ones over there. They have a blackberry, what is it? Blackberry, not elderberry. Blackcurrant?
Here's the literary tea titles. Okay, so we have Louisa May Alcott's Green Tea Blend. I don't see myself drinking that one. I don't care for
good.
green tea. Maya Angelou's Black Tea
Maya
Blend.
Angelou.
Who's that?
I think she's a poet.
Okay. Jane Austen's Black Tea Blend. I'll have to eventually try that. Bronte Sisters Black Tea Blend. That one's got to be like strong. I feel like Jane Austen should be a little lighter. Okay, Lewis Carroll's Black Tea Blend.
Oh, we have that one, I think.
I don't have that one.
I think we have it upstairs.
Charles Dickens Black Tea Blend. Emily Dickinson's Jasmine Tea Blend. I'm not huge. I think that'll be a little light. Fedor Dostoevsky's Black Tea Blend. That feels like it should be spicy. Edgar Allan Poe's Black Edgar Allan Poe's Black Tea Blend, and that one does have a bit of smoke to it. Beatrix Potter's Herbal Blend.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Oh, I'd have to try.
That's probably chamomile.
Oh, you're right. It's probably so nice.
Yeah, let's try that one.
William Shakespeare's Black Tea Blend, and I actually pronounced the Shakespeare. Most people say
Shakespeare.
I said it differently this time. Shakespeare's. And the emphasis. Okay, Black Tea Blend. Edith Wharton's Black Tea Blend. I don't know who that is. And Walt Whitman's Green Tea.
They don't have any Tolkien tea, and they should. Tolkien tea. What would Tolkien teas be? It would be very fresh, outdoorsy kind of tea. They could do several on Tolkien.
Yeah, because you might also say, well, might have a little bit of a hint of mystery, like a spicy.
Well, it could be. I think it'd be an earthy tea.
Yeah, oh, you mean if you're looking at more of the Hobbits? Yeah, I guess it would be.
I mean, if you go to the elves, then you're looking at other things like a lighter tea, like a white tea, maybe. Especially if you're looking at.
But it's not really that kind of story. It is, in its essence, it's an earthy story.
Yeah, it is. It is. But if they go through the various peoples, then you can get.
But that's not really what they're doing. Like when they are doing it's an author.
Oh, I know. I know.
So I think they'd have a challenge, and maybe that's why they didn't do.
I think they should do that.
Tolkien.
I'm gonna have to talk to Andy about doing some Tolkien teas.
Because there was a different place that did an Anna Green Gables tea that I kept meaning to pick up, but I never did.
That would have been. I see kind of apple cinnamon kind of tea for Anna Green Gables.
It has to be fruity. It has to be fruity.
Yeah, and it has to have a little bit of a spice to it.
Yeah.
A little kick to it. So Anna Green Gables.
Yeah, because she wouldn't be a black tea. That's that's not Anne at all.
No.
She would have to be a fruity tea, and it would have to be.
It has to be something that goes with cinnamon and stuff.
Oh, it has to be elegant because she wants to be elegant.
Yes. Or imaginative.
Or imaginative.
Yes.
But if it has like the auspices where you really want to be elegant, but it actually more fun. Mm-hmm. You know, like it.
A little bit of a fruity undertone.
I think it's going to be quite fruity, but it has like some taste that you normally think of something that's a little more high class, but it's overwhelmed by this like bubbling, exuberant fruitiness.
Yes. And, there you have it.
I don't know how you would make that happen.
Andy, make it happen. Make it so.
Make it so.
Make it so.
Number one.
Make it so, number one. Captain Andy, make it so. Captain Plum Deluxe. Yes.
So.
All right, moving on.
Yes.
I already talked about the shop. I guess we're going to move into
reading and then...
Reading, yeah. Okay, and then life stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
For reading, I finished the second book in the Quadrille series by Timothy Zahn, and I'm well on my way through the third book of the 5-book series. So reading a book a week, I know it's not really fast. I can usually read something much faster, but with my timetable and what I'm doing and everything, that's a real big...
Well, these books, you go like that.
I don't want to put them down.
Yeah, so, I knew once I got you started on them, you would love it.
One of my favorite characters has reappeared, which makes me happy.
I knew you would like him.
I like him. He's special. And you never know what he looks like, so that's cool.
Oh, he's just such an awesome character.
Yeah, he is. I miss the Commando. I wish he would come back. Mm-hmm. I'm glad to see...
He'll come back.
Yeah, I know he will, but we're right in the middle here now. Mm-hmm. Out of the 5-book series, I'm in book 3. So,
and what I really enjoy, because it is a 5-book series, you are able... A lot of times when I finish a book, I'm like, man, I had to leave those characters.
Yeah.
I have 5 books to enjoy these characters. And it's all within the same time frame, so it's not like some books when you come back, it's like, well, things have changed because they aren't in the same place that they were at when they were in the last book.
I think that's why I read Hunger Games over and over again, because I missed the characters and they were right. Oh, thank you. We have received gifts.
Thank you,
Thank
kiddo.
you, Davina. You're welcome. It is my husband's homemade raisin bread. Oh, yes. It's warm.
Yes, it is.
But
that's why I haven't finished Hunger Games, because I read that first book. I kid you not, I couldn't go to sleep until I finished it.
That's why I was
so absorbed into it.
It was very, very, very addicting, and I missed the characters to the point where I'd get the book, and
every once in a while, like, I'll be so connected to the book, I can't bring myself to read the next one.
I would read the book, and then I was this is when I picked up Patrick Carr as well. So I finished my book. I started Patrick Carr. When I finished Patrick Carr, I was waiting for the next book to come in. I went back to Hunger Games and reread it because I think
Hunger Games was the first fictional book that I cried over.
Yeah,
because I'm one of those people who cry over, like, I keep Chicken Soup books in the bathroom, like Chicken Soup for the Nurse's Soul, Chicken Soup for Catholic Soul, and if you see me coming out of there with, like, my eyes red, it's because I've bawled over something in Chicken Soup.
But we were just saying about the Quadrille series. We're just trying to make a reference to other books that were like that.
It doesn't hit the emotion note in the way that, because the things happen differently. You know, Hunger Games, you had what happened to Rue happen. So it was a very emotional thing. It's these books you get in Quadrille, you get really connected to the characters, but doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the same. I'm going to cry type of connection. But yeah, you don't want to put it down.
Although I do want to pop Frank upside the head sometimes.
Well, yeah, and he is clever.
He's completely oblivious.
Yeah.
Of course, she doesn't help anything, but
no. Well, I think she's not completely.
Well, she's in denial.
Right. So if she is in denial, it doesn't make it any easier for
I
him.
want to pop him upside the head.
But it's a really good book good series if you haven't read Quadrail series,
Yeah.
and you get 5 books.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
awesome. And
yay.
it was on sale a while back. It was,
Uh-huh.
I think it was on sale a while back.
I don't know. I didn't pick it up for you when it was on sale.
Okay.
I just picked it up for you because you needed to have it.
I love it. It's one of my, I'm enjoying it.
And this was
immensely.
the only way I could guarantee that you were going to finally read this. Because I wanted, selfishly, I wanted you to read it so you could enjoy these characters with me. Because I kept wanting to tell you, you are going to love McMicking. But I couldn't tell you that because you didn't know who McMicking was. So now I can be like, yes, isn't he awesome?
He's amazing. And I like Fear. Fear is yeah. Okay, but moving on.
Moving on. So you were talking about your book. I have been, and I don't have. Okay, there is. I've been still doing the Great Courses, The Secret Life of Words, English Words and Their Origins. That has been so influential in my way of thinking about things. Just insofar as I hear a word, I'm like, oh wow, this blah 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 blah, and I start thinking about, oh, why did I say that way? Or it's just, I love words.
Yeah, I do too.
And I found a free, now you can get the paid for version, but you don't have to. You get, you get enough out of it that you don't need the paid for version. I found the Oxford English Dictionary app, which she always mentions the OED as the resource for finding etymology and going into real details. So I had to get an OED app. And then they had a sale on the Great Courses Plus subscription. So, I mentioned that last time. So I'm doing that. Haven't listened to that as much this week because of stuff.
I'm gonna have to. I apologize, but this is getting cold, and I don't want it to get cold.
And then the last thing that I had, I've been listening to, the audiobook "Why You Suffer: Biblical Keys for Hope and Understanding" by Jeff Cavins.
And I am reading Catholicism by Bishop Barham. I forgot to say that.
So then that should lead into life news.
Okay. Let's see here.
So as we always say,
Hold on.
yes,
Before we say goodbye,
this is why Mom doesn't let me lead, because I jumped the gun.
Before we say goodbye, I want to thank all the people who commented either on YouTube or in the group. I believe I responded to everybody. If I didn't, you commented
water.
after I started podcasting with Taya.
Oops.
We do want to thank the people on YouTube: Pat, Sue, Valeria, Marie, Chronically Crocheting. I think it's Sequa75.
Let me take a look. Cause she says I always.
Sequa.
She always says I say it right.
75.
I can't see it.
Yeah, she did.
Sequa.
Um,
No, it's Sequa.
Knitting
can't
Girl
remember.
1 and Gabbing Grammy. Okay, we thank you for commenting on YouTube. I forget who it was that commented on the group. I want to say
A couple people did.
I want to say it was Rena and
Patty did.
Patty and Rena, I think. So we thank you all
Was
for
it
commenting.
Patty was it Rena, or was it
Sylvie?
Sylvie? Because Sylvie tends to comment on the group.
Yeah, I don't know which one it was. We thank you all for podcasting.
Because I remember them both commenting, but that was like an eon ago.
Well, I know that we also had a lot of commenters last time. So, okay, so we're going to move into life stuff, okay? We've done all the knitting and crocheting stuff that we're doing. Please take a look at all the along threads. The Lady Finical Creations one is up for the mystery yarn and all of my yarn, and all the rules are up there. So you can start posting things tomorrow, or if this is March 1st or later when you watch it, today. And we are going to go into life stuff. Okay, so we'll give you a minute here to go. Well, not quite a minute. We'll give you a little time to leave, and we'll see you next week. Have a blessed week.
Have a good week. Bye.
I think that's
I
probably.
think that's probably enough time. Okay, so last week I was super high energy on Saturday. First time in a long time. Sunday I crashed hard. I couldn't knit really unless it was something that I didn't have to look at because I was sitting in a dark room with sunglasses on.
Light sensitive.
I was very light sensitive, so I had to work simple knitting with my lights out, which is why the baby blanket got worked on. I could we had those little neck lamp things that I could turn on briefly to quickly do my seat stitch border, then turn it off, or if I needed to look to find something in the dark. But I was very light sensitive. It was very miserable that day. Monday I wasn't much better, and Monday I quit work.
Was it Monday you quit work? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Monday I quit. Tuesday I cleaned out my office. Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't see myself working again outside of the home. It is questionable whether or not I'll be able to work full time again. Looking into disability. Right now I am doing on a contract basis. Same day I quit my job, I got into Rev.com as a transcriptionist. And it's on a contract basis. I can do it whenever I want to, however much I want to. I just need to keep with it my stats within their recommendations. So like accuracy, my formatting always looks good according to them. The only thing I kind of suffer sometimes on is speed. And it's not by a lot, it's just enough because I'm sitting there because I'm a little anal and I want to make sure it's all correct before I send it out. I'm doing research and I get caught down a research hole.
Yeah, you gotta learn to have a little more self-control with the research. Look at what you had to get and then get out.
And they gave some tips when they send out their emails. I'm starting to crash a little bit. Mm-hmm. But so I'm trying to make use of those tips. And one of the things that comes into that is Dad installed a light that's in our front room that when I hit the on button, it'll turn on a blue light. And when that blue light is on, it's connected to this. So I can hit it from my room. And when that's on, people know that I'm working. Mm-hmm. Because I have my headphones in and it's a timed thing. If I don't think I can finish on time, if I do it within the right amount of time and unclaim the project, I'm okay. It doesn't affect my stats and my ability to stay as a transcriptionist. But if I run over, I can get penalized. And considering the fact that this is really the only thing I can do right now to have any cash coming in, I mean, starting the patterns again should help a little bit, but you know, my patterns don't exactly fly off the shelves.
Well, they were toys. You don't know what your color was going to do.
And also patterns, you know, people generally only buy, they're only going to buy one pattern, you know, but more people can buy than buying a physical object. So yeah, I've been spending quite a bit of time doing the transcription stuff, which has been nice. I like learning new things, so I'm learning stuff through that.
It's also helping you to focus more. I mean, I know that a lot of that is depending on your ability to do so, but it is forcing you to learn to refocus. Mm-hmm. You know, so we've seen that we've been able to talk about things like the shared story or a book or something like that, which we haven't done in I don't know how long.
Now, granted, yesterday was a good day, and today, you know, I'm coming down now.
You're starting to flare. I can see the red.
I think I got myself a little too excited. Mm-hmm. But this has been so far a good day. I pushed it quite a bit yesterday. I stayed up late doing some jobs because I saw one that came across that was really good, and I was like, this is going to be easy. I can get it out on time. And then I couldn't stop doing my pattern.
Because she has no self-control.
Because I was so on fire. But, so my body's probably reacting a little bit to that, too.
So she's probably not going to be able to go eat with us because she's going to be able to do things with the grandparents over the weekend.
Yes, because most of the week, I was extremely symptomatic. If I left the house, I felt horrible. I felt weak. I felt like it was not pleasant. And even around the house, as late as Thursday, if I went from room to room and like just was putting stuff away or whatever, I'd have to stop and rest because it took too much effort. So yesterday was the first day that I kind of felt human, which was kind of nice. It's been a while since I felt human. This is why I can't handle a full-time job that requires a schedule, because I never know when it's gonna come on. There were hours where I had knitting on my lap and I didn't want to knit because I felt so out of it.
Like you said, you need to get a hold of Chronically Crocheting because she was having the same week.
Yeah, so I don't know if she's also sensitive to weather. I think when we had talked about it, she hadn't really thought of the correlation. I'm strongly sensitive to weather.
Mm-hmm. But that's also a family thing, I think.
Yeah. And I'm strongly sensitive to weather and temperature changes, atmosphere changes. Like, just leaving the house, the difference in the temperature and the atmosphere of inside the house, which is pretty much my safe zone. I mean, I'll have symptoms in the house, but it'll be like double my symptoms from the house to outside. If there's wind, I feel very unbalanced. So it's just, life is different now. This is a new journey. I'm actually excited about the transcription stuff. And I'm excited about maybe having some energy design again.
That's great.
Kind of getting a little bit of a life back. I haven't had one for a while. And I sound really pathetic, and I think I must be getting really, really tired.
Yes, you are. And you're rambling.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
So, yeah, it's a change. Brittany, thank you for being there on Monday, like, when I texted 5 minutes after, or like, not 5 minutes, but it was like very, very soon after I quit my job, and I was I was in tears texting to you. Thank you for being there. So yeah, but I'm in a good place emotionally now. Monday was rough because it was an acknowledgement that this is what needed to happen, but now it's good because that stress is gone. And it feels like a new chapter is beginning, and I feel like I'm focused on me, not on the fact that my health is making it so I can't be the kind of nurse I want to be. So, yeah. So this isn't all bad news, guys. This is a good thing. This is kind of a victory.
Always is.
So
New beginning.
it's a new beginning, and I'm kind of excited about it. Even though my tone doesn't say excited, but that's only because
She's crashing and she can't bring herself to stop, right?
to stop crashing.
To stop talking.
Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She rambles sometimes when she's sleepy.
I ramble anyway.
Yes, you do.
I ramble when I'm feeling really energetic, and I ramble when I'm crashing hard, but it's a different kind of ramble.
Yeah. You don't interrupt as much when you're tired. You interrupt more when you're...
Well, because it's like a racy thought when...
Anyway, that's the update for that. We do have guests coming in. We will probably be podcasting next week. I think our Lenten retreat is next Saturday. Mm-hmm. So we will probably be podcasting on Friday because she isn't working, so we're working around,
Yeah, I can take...
I mean, she's working, but she's not.
But I can take the jobs based on our life schedule, like on days when I go to my neurosurgeon, which I don't think it's next week. It should be the week after.
I thought it was the end of March.
Hold on.
Like the 20th.
We should probably determine that. Because Abdallah, my cardiologist, is the week after Henderson. Because that's why I had the CT. It's a follow-up appointment to see how the fusion looks and see how the instabilities above and below this fusion look. I would love to avoid further fusions because that was not... Anesthesia is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And the ride home was the worst ever. Okay, so it's not next week. It's the 12th that I see the neurosurgeon, and it's 20th I see Abdallah. So
I knew one of them was at the end of March.
Yeah. Well, I don't need to worry about telling work anymore that I have those appointments.
Just Daddy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will be podcasting probably next Friday. And when it goes up, is anybody's guess, probably be around the same time.
Right.
But-
I mean, you might see some distance depending on symptoms. Because I kind of have a feeling I'm not going to be popping on the computer right away.
Yeah, because it'll be an all-day thing at the church. So, yeah, there'll be...
I mean, even just today, for example.
Oh, right. So, we're going
Were
to...
you not talking about today? Were you talking about...
Next week.
Okay,
We were.
I think I zoned.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and close this because she's a little bit unfocused right now. So, we're going to wish you all a very wonderful, blessed week full of knitting, crocheting, whatever it is that makes you happy. For those of you who are doing Lent, wish you a very fruitful, productive Lent. And we will hope to see you here again for the Fun in the Woman Cave next week, whether it's Friday or Saturday. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 391, and that's a wrap.
Bye.